There are people dying in St. Jude and Victoria Hospital. That's what the song says. There are people dying. And that is a fact, brothers and sisters. The Medical and Dental Association have come out and say so. There are people dying in this country. And this is because of what Alan Chastanet and this administration has chosen to do, especially in St. Jude. There are people who go there. People who go there for certain illnesses. They don't die because of the illness. They die from secondary causes. And up to now, not one of them, not the Prime Minister, not the Minister of Health, have come out and denied what the Medical and Dental Association has said. So that's an indictment on them, brothers and sisters. And that is all the reason why we have to move this government as quickly as possible so we can bring back health care for our people and keep our people safe and strong. Good evening, my brothers and sisters of Labour. I bring you warm fraternal greetings from the Organization for National Empowerment, ONE, on this historic meeting on post the motion of no confidence in the most unfit Prime Minister ever to have been elected in this country. Brothers and sisters, it is the first time that I recall that a motion of no confidence has been moved in a sitting Prime Minister, and I must applaud the Honourable Leader of the Opposition, Philip J. Pierre, in fact, all Labour parliamentarians, for having the guts and the courage to proceed with this motion. Historic, brothers and sisters. Put a round of applause for everybody. Ernest Hilaire, the Leader of the Opposition. Musa, you didn't take your bow. But all of you all have to be applauded, brothers and sisters. The country is in crisis, and we need every man, Jack, to stand up and take a stand. Otherwise, we smoke our pipe. Brothers and sisters, before the motion, Guy Joseph was on TV and all of them, okay, saying, Philip Pierre doesn't know what he's doing. They will make fools of themselves. But they're not saying that now, eh? Après ça qui fait, Kaiko Sitla, lundi semaine passée, yo pas qu'à dire ça encore. Brothers and sisters, what transpired in the House was a serious indictment on Alan Chastanet and his government. They tried every trick in the book to try and stop the motion of no confidence. And kudos to Speaker Andy Daniel for doing his research. He did his research very well, so he was able to answer them. And brothers and sisters, when we have to give people praise, we must not be afraid. As members of the Labour Party, as supporters of the Labour Party, if something is done right, we got to give them praise. So we must give Andy Daniel praise. When you see him in town, give him a little hand. Mr. Speaker, job well done. Okay, having failed to stop the tabling of the motion, because they tried everything, as I told you. They tried to stop the tabling of the motion, and then now, I think Musa said it, Sarah tried to bring the motion to a vote. I mean, only the leader just presented the motion, you know. Nobody else has spoken. But Madam Sarah Flood decided she wants to bring the motion to a vote. You know, I mean, what kind of democracy is that? These are the people who stand up on the platform and tell you about democracy and what have you, right? And that's what you want to do? You do not want people to voice their opinion about an important issue like that? This attempt failed as well. Finally, when they realized all the Shiganayans had failed, they tried to interrupt the speakers with points of order. And I counted no less than 15. One needs to ask the question, what were they afraid of? Brothers and sisters, I will tell you what they were afraid of. Some are so embarrassed by Alan Chastanet and his style of governance that privately they whisper to one another, to their friends and family, that Chastanet doesn't know what the hell he's doing. He's not all there. I mean, he doesn't understand how to run a country. These are the things they go around saying to their friends and family. He's embarrassing us. Some of them even go around saying, "Make me cause us to lose our seat." And countless other complaints. But you know what? In public, they all put on a brave face, as they did in the House of Assembly last Monday, and say all nice things about Shastney when privately they say something else. So don't worry for what you see in the House. That's just show. That's just show. But privately, when you meet them, they tell you different things. So I say, shame on all 10 of them. Shame on you, Sarah, for allowing Alan Shastney to stop work on the Derrick Walker House extension for the people of Grass Streets and its environs. Well, the project was supposed to have brought some well-needed jobs for the inner city. And God knows the youth in Central Castries need jobs. Shame on you, Sarah, for allowing Hubertus Raymond to sit in the cabinet when you railed privately against his behavior involving the sending of nude pictures from the government offices. So she sits there in cabinet. She tells them what she thinks. The Prime Minister takes no action. And when the press meets her and say, "Well, Sarah, what's going on? What's your opinion?" "Oh, I have told them what I have to say already." But you said what you have to say in Parliament or in cabinet, but when you cannot say anything to your constituents about the issue. Okay, brothers, so shame on her. Okay? Shame on you for criticizing Kenny Anthony, for appointing a Vision Commission under the chairmanship of Adrian Auger. And then your Prime Minister literally goes and gives Pomando, I think that's one of Theo Akin's friends, $14 million to do the same thing. Where are you, Sarah? Where are you? Aren't you ashamed? You sit in cabinet, you see that is happening, you just criticize Kenny Anthony. I remember how in Parliament saying that. Oh, Kenny Anthony spent how many years in politics as Prime Minister of this country, and he had no vision. He had to appoint a Vision Commission. And your Prime Minister do the same thing, and you sit there and you say nothing. Shame on you. Shame on you, Sarah, for allowing Alan Shastney to embarrass you into defending this ridiculous policy position on not recognizing Venezuela's duly elected president, Nicolas Maduro. Head out, this administration does not recognize Nicolas Maduro as the legitimately elected president of Venezuela, but yet still you recognize the ambassador. What foolishness is this? I've never heard that in my entire life. Shame on you, Sarah, for not standing up and telling Alan, you are born and bred St. Lucian, that he cannot take you all for a ride. But you see, persons like that, you must understand they have their own agenda. And I think Musa said it very well. They have their own personal agenda. It has nothing to do with St. Lucia. And brothers and sisters, a time will come when I will expose all of it. Okay? And I will tell you all things that you all need to know that transpired. And it bleeds my heart to see Sarah was a member of one. And today, no, there'll be time for it, sister, don't worry. Right? And today, you cannot stand up for the people of this country. Shame on you. Shame on you. Shame on you, Ezekiel, for allowing Shastney to have you say that we'll be exporting tens of tons of bananas to Martinique when you knew very well that this was not possible. You were told so. He was told so by the ministry staff. He knew very well it could happen. But he go on radio, "Oh, we're going to export bananas, blah, 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 to Martinique. We're going to have boats living there and so on. For us to get a better price." They know it's not possible. Brothers and sisters, I just came from Martinique, I just came from Martinique. I had a little surgery, which I did. Okay? And brothers and sisters, Martinique, the farmers are planting bananas. They're planting bananas, but yet still, St. Lucia will plant bananas to send to Martinique. You know what? Who they think they're fooling? Who they think they're fooling? Shame on you, Ezekiel, for you to come and repeat that hogwash from Shastney. You as a St. Lucian, born and bred here, supposed to know better. Shame on you for saying that government is not in the business of bailouts to justify the closing of the fisheries complex where over 50 St. Lucians like us have just lost their jobs. And then now, you sit in cabinet with a government who give $24 million of a bailout to Sanders. Brothers and sisters, are these people real? Are they St. Lucians? Do they care about anything? What else do they have to do? They all beat their mouth. But I don't think that they care about this country anymore. So shame on you. Right? Isn't Sanders a business? Shame on you, Ezekiel, for giving the Labour Party pressure for not completing the meat processing plant in Vieux Fort. And now, $24 million plant, you know. And now, you see nothing wrong in Chasney tearing it down in the name of DSH. Brothers and sisters, is that somebody that is capable of representing you or the people of St. Lucia? With that kind of behavior, you stand up and you allow Chasney literally sit there in cabinet and say nothing. And the man is going to demolish a $24 million gift from the Taiwanese. And these are the kind of people who want to come in parliament and want to represent us. Shame on you, Stephenson King, for allowing Alan Chasney to run roughshod over you. You are the Prime Minister of this country, and you are the chief architect in the St. Jude Saga, which has involved millions of dollars of hard-earned St. Lucian money. You remember even the young children went around raising funds for St. Jude, brothers and sisters, in the hot sun. I was a member of the club that took hot sun for 18 months, 52 Saturdays a year, 52 Saturdays in a year plus another 20-something. So maybe about 80 Saturdays. I was all around the island, part of a group, raising funds, taking hot sun for St. Jude Hospital. Stephen King was there, you know, when we launched the raffle. Right? He bought the first ticket for it. Okay, and then you now sit in a cabinet, knowing the whole history of St. Jude, and you said nothing. You said nothing to Alan Chasney. You understand? Right? All these people, brothers and sisters, nothing about no nice boy. These people don't care about this country. And I don't know what else that they need to do to convince St. Lucians that these guys need to go. Shame on you, Stephenson King. Shame, shame, shame. Okay, brothers and sisters, there are a lot of friendly governments and agencies that donated money to St. Jude. And today, the whole project is just sitting there, deteriorating. Millions and millions of dollars of taxpayers' money, your money, my money, there in St. Jude, and it's just there rotting away. And Stephenson King sits there and says nothing. Okay? Chasney is a king, he's a boss, he can do what he wants. Shame on you, Stephenson King. And don't worry, the day will come, the day of reckoning will come for all of y'all, sooner than y'all think. Shame on you, Stephenson King, for being part of a cabinet which approved the airport project and now allowing it to proceed with some of the very same players which caused corruption accusations to be leveled at your administration. Shame on you. And now it is the Florida court is investigating the matter. Shame on you. A minister in your cabinet has alleged that both you and him were offered bribes for this project. To my knowledge, up to today, I've never heard Stephenson King come and say that that wasn't so. If somebody makes an accusation like that, and I am the Prime Minister of a country, or I was a Prime Minister, I would come out immediately and say that's not true. It's years now the minister has made, the former minister has made that statement, and he has not come out and denied it. But that's a serious indictment. And you know, in a number of countries, I don't know what the laws are here, but immediately the police would get involved and investigate and question. And we must question the Commissioner of Police as to why is it that these accusations are made and they have been investigated. Brothers and sisters, I have a lot more, but just one final person I will have to speak about. Shame on you, Spider Montoot, for allowing Chasney and Guy to object to the cutting of the seat in Gros-Islet. Okay, and now the people are coming behind him. They want roads, they want this, they want that. He says what? Hear what he's saying now. I want them to cut the seat now. Shame on you, Spider. Shame on you for sitting in cabinet and allowing Chastanet to stop the road, the fallen road from Choc to Gros-Islet. Right? When it's taking us, I live up north, and several live up north. It takes us an hour if you live anywhere past Bonte or these areas there, Marisville, to get to town. You sit there in cabinet, you know the importance of that road. Gros-Islet is almost like the second capital of St. Lucia. There's so much traffic, and you sit there and you say nothing. You say nothing. Brothers and sisters, in addition to that, he's aware, like I do, that Chastanet and his wife, they take police escort to go through the traffic. They cannot deal with it, you know. They take police escort. And you and I, the mendicants, that's how we refer to us. We have to sit in a bus or in our car and take our time. Shame on you, Spider. Shame, shame, all of you. Don't worry. The time is coming. History. And I will say categorically here tonight, history will not be kind to these 10 parliamentarians who supported Chastanet in his vote of no confidence. The nation will always remember you all as a bunch of cowards with no backbone who will sit there and allow your country to be destroyed by someone who's alien to us, alien to our culture, alien to what makes us St. Lucian in the name of political expediency. I want them to think of their children and grandchildren. Right? What will be their legacy? When Chastanet has destroyed this country, what will be your legacy? What will you tell your children and grandchildren? Brothers and sisters, we all have to take a stand at this time in the period of our country, in this period of our country. We all need to get together. We need to speak to all of those people who have left the Labour Party and wandered around. All those UWP supporters who are upset, we need to start to speak to them. Now, don't go quarreling, brothers and sisters. As long as you have a quarrel, you go lose. So what you do, you take notes, for example, like the 24 million that given to Sandals, the amount they give to Pomandu, and the amount that they give to Lockerbie. These are facts. They cannot deny it. So when you go, you just say, brother, I mean, take a look at that. Take a look at that and think about it and come back and talk to me. Do not get into quarrels about politics, but you need to speak to them. So brothers and sisters, on this note, I'd like to end to wish you a very good evening and a successful meeting. Good night.